Magic Mike, hit me, what you got?
So we've got a new product we're offering to the construction industry. It comes along with an app, it's a technology device. The industry, it's a new technology for the industry to make things, to improve quality control.
Okay.
Customers don't know about us and don't realize they have a need. So we're kind of coming in, trying to quantify their need, pitch the project or the product, and then get to a close.
Yep.
And just find a lot of resistance.
Okay.
You need wisdom for helping show them that they have a need in the market, I guess.
Yes. You came to the right place, Mike. So who are we talking to? GCs? What are we talking to? Big construction companies? Give me just, in your target zone, who you're talking to.
We've designed the product to be marketable at multiple levels in the construction. So it can go to developer, GC, contractor, and the third-party testing lab.
Okay. And real quick, high level, what's the problem that you solve?
Quality and time.
When you say quality, can you give me a specific example?
There's low quality in the measurement process, there's low quality in the documentation process, and there's poor quality in the communication process of this quality control procedure.
Okay, let's take measurement.
That creates issues, but they don't recognize that there are issues with those.
Okay, for the sake of coaching and for the sake of time, but the principles that I'm going to show you is the same. Let's just take measurement for an example, and I'm gonna pull something out of thin air here. You tell me if I'm in the zip code of what we're talking about. With measurement, if I don't measure properly, I'm not going to get the right materials ordered, okay? Or worse, the fitment's not going to be correct on the job. I'm not going to find out about that till an inspector goes, and now all of a sudden, worst case, maybe I'm not even getting a CO or whatever it is, and now I got to pull stuff out, right? So is that kind of along the lines where we got to have the quality with the measurement, or am I way off base?
Close, but this is the quality of the structural members inside the foundation.
Okay. And
not so much for measuring as far as supply, it's the measuring for the quality control in the structural approval.
Got it. Okay, so quality control and the structural approval. If that's bad, what happens? Just one sentence, what happens? Building falls down.
Yeah, short life of the foundation, or building could fall down.
Okay, so here's the piece of information that I want to give you, Mike, right here, right now, and this is going to help everybody else. We talked about this, but it was a while ago. The last time we talked about this was a while ago. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I love me some MMA and some jiu-jitsu. By the way, if you guys ever train with me, there's one thing I'm known for. I can do one thing really, really well. I can do one thing world-class level, and that's a triangle submission. So it's pretty neat that we're going to talk about the triangle, because I'm T-City, where I come from, over at Easton Training Center. You're going to get triangled if you go with me. But what we're going to talk about is the triangle, but this is not a martial arts triangle. Here's your problem. When you talk about quality of the foundation to that developer, to that GC, to that quality control, whoever it is, these people, here's the problem. We have a little thing, okay? Most of ours are the size of Brazil. It's called an ego, okay? Ego. When we say, hey, I want to talk to you about how I can improve your quality. I need to improve my quality. Beat it, right? I want to talk to you about how we can improve your measurements or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what the issue is. The simple thing is the same. Whether I'm talking to a GC or developer, or I'm talking to my wife, or I'm talking to my friend that, let's say I've got a friend that's right on the edge of being diabetic, and I'm like, Peter, you need to stop it with the Diet Pepsi. The minute I bring this issue up with this person, although I'm going to help the structural integrity of their buildings, although I'm going to improve the life of that building, although I'm going to improve the life of Peter, and hopefully add a couple decades to his life if he stops drinking 3 2-liter bottles of Diet Pepsi every day, the minute we bring things up directly to that person, they're going to push back. They're going to be like, I'm all good. And unfortunately, as my South Boston mother used to say when she smoked the long cigarettes, Matthew, life isn't fair. She was right. life isn't fair because I might bring this issue up to this GC or developer. They're going to push me away, and guess what else might happen? Let's say it's Bob who's on this call. Bob's going to circle up with Pat and go, hey, I was just thinking, what about the structural integrity of our buildings and the measurement process? I should probably look into that. But he's not going to call you back because he blocked you already with his ego. So this is where we're going to use the triangle. And the triangle is, instead of talking directly to these developers, these GCs, these testing labs about fixing their problem, you're going to get both of you looking at an outside, a report that you did, other clients that you're working with. And then I want you to use words that sound like, how are you handling this? Not, is this something that you're seeing? Is this something that you're seeing? Again, the ego's going to go, oh, we're perfect. How are you handling it? You're going to hear it, well, we're doing our best. So to triangulate, Mike, instead of you saying, hey, we can help you with the structural integrity of your buildings and we can make sure that your buildings last longer and save you billions of dollars over the life cycle of your portfolio. I'm all good. I'm all set. Hey, I wanted to reach out to you personally because I've got an idea that I'd love to get your opinion on. Sure, what is it? So one of the things that we're seeing, especially in the Sacramento area, is a lot of buildings are having to do refitments with the caissons where that's almost, as crazy as this sounds, and I'm sure you guys have run into this, it's almost as expensive as doing a whole new building. When we have to come in, we have to do temporary jacks, put new caissons in. One of the things, and it's really interesting, especially buildings that were built pre-2015, one of the things that we're seeing in the industry is there was some really simple ways to prevent that. And there's, for example, 10 clients that we're working with now that they have saw that, and it's unfortunately we haven't mastered the DeLorean with the flux capacitor. We can't go back in time and fix it for them, but what we're seeing on all their future projects is now they're having the ability to make sure that they're not getting into these types of scenarios down the road with all of their new projects. And I know you guys have several projects here in NorCal, and I was just curious to get your opinion on how you guys are handling making sure that the quality fitment is blah blah blah. I don't know. I'm not a structural engineer, but you can see where I'm going with this. Well, it's interesting you say that because I was just going to have a meeting with Pat about that this week. That is something that's on our radar screen. I'm not saying we're doing anything wrong right now, but it's definitely something that we're looking at. When you say it's something that you're looking at, can you give me a specific example? Is there anything with, any of your current projects that have, had red flags come up or worse right now? Yeah, we have had a couple projects go bad. With that research that you were telling, is there any way you can send me over something? Because I do, again, I got to run right now, but I do have a meeting with Pat, our CEO, here in a little bit. Can you send me something? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'd love to send you something. What specifically were you looking for in that document? Well, I would like to see if you guys have a spreadsheet of the ratios with it, because I'm sure what you're doing is expensive, where that payoff is. When you say payoff, can you give me a specific example? Yes, I can. Because we worked with companies that were like yours in the past. We paid a bunch of money up front, and we never saw an ROI on that. Now, so what you're saying is they took money up front? Yes. So it sounds like the real issue is you'd like a partner to help you with the project, but you don't want to be sinking a bunch of capital in. Yeah, it's exactly what's going on. That's what Pat and I were talking about. I don't want to name names. I have a feeling I know who you worked with before. That's one of the reasons why a lot of companies come to us. Instead of that chart, would it help if I sent you over just high level how we're structured a little bit differently in terms of the capital that you're going to have to lay out up front? Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Cool. I know you got to meet with Pat. I'm going to have that over to you. Give me about 10 minutes. I'm going to write up kind of a one-page review of our discussion. I'll cover your current situation, the capabilities that you're looking for, and I'll propose some next steps in terms of us moving forward. I'll get that over to your email, mike@mike.com, here in about 12 minutes. And I'll shoot you a text after I hit send just to make sure you got it, just in case it's getting in your spam. And then, Mike, what's a good next step for me in terms of getting back with you? Well, I'm meeting with Pat today. Yeah, I mean, I'll just get back to you. Perfect, Mike. Sounds great. How about you're going to meet with Pat today? You're going to get back to me. I'll put my mobile on the email, and then today's Thursday. I'll call you tomorrow, Friday, 4:30 p.m. if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Yeah, that works for me. And then you're going to go into your power email, which we can either talk about later or on another session, where you're going to break down the current situation, capabilities needed, next steps. My point to all of this is, without the triangle, my favorite submission in jiu-jitsu, you're never going to have this level of conversation unless they have buildings falling down around them right now and are like, good God, we need to fix this, right? Anybody else, their ego is not going to allow them to have the conversation. But if I simply use the triangle, by the way, I don't have a friend Peter, I made that up. Because I do have a friend Peter, and he doesn't drink that much Diet Pepsi or Coke or whatever. No disrespect to Coca-Cola Corporation. But if I sit Peter down and go, hey Peter, you're drinking 3 liters of Diet Pepsi a day, you're going to kill yourself. He's going to go, shut up. But if I go, hey Peter, I wanted to talk to you because, did you hear about Kim's father? What happened with Kim's dad? I love Kim's dad. He passed away. What's going on? Man, it turns out, it was just little things with his weight. And I don't know if you've talked to Kim recently. She could really use your support, but he rapidly went. I mean, you saw Kim's dad. He was great. He's a bigger guy, right? But he rapidly, all of a sudden, type 1 diabetic. He wasn't following up on that regimen. Things went bad. I don't know if you heard this, but 6 months ago, he had his foot amputated, and it's just his zest for life went. He was in that wheelchair. He hated it. Man, dude, it's just little things. And I just want to know, is that something that you've thought about? I know, because with the weight and the Diet Pepsi and everything, I probably should think about that. Now they're going to have better conversations. Make sure you triangulate. Okay? So I want you to practice that, Mike. Have the conversations around another client, an industry report, somebody else, and you'll find they'll be a lot more open to having this discussion with you. Does that help, Mike? If you work in sales and you need to make twice as much money as you do right now to really enjoy your life, you've really only got 3 options. Option number 1, you can continue to work your butt off in the job you have right now, hoping for some sort of miracle to happen, where you start taking home double the money while doing things the exact same way you do them right now. That's pretty unlikely. Or option number 2, you can look for another job at a totally different company, hoping you're going to catch some sort of once-in-a-lifetime wave where sales just seem to flow your way. All right, again, highly unlikely, and we both know waves in sales, well, they don't last very long. Or option number 3, you can click the button here and get instant access to a simple, straightforward sales process that will help you take home twice as much money as you do right now while putting in far less effort than you do today. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University, the most effective sales coaching system in the world. If you click the button, you're going to see how our interactive sales coaching portal and weekly live coaching sessions with me will help you double your income within 60 days. Easton University is more than an interactive sales coaching portal. It's more than being able to ask me questions in a live setting every single week. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the button. I will see you on the other side. Your life is about to get a lot better. Click through now.